I don't know about your Thanksgiving holiday. I don't even want to talk about mine. I feel like I was traumatized. But I'm glad to be back here on the Squadcast for episode 4.
Episode 4.
Okay.
You don't know how to make people like you, and you find yourself holding a grudge against them. You're standing on the outside looking in.
Coming up, we've got a great interview with Jason+evangelho from Insomnia Radio, and we're going to talk all about social networking and growing fan bases and keeping your friends loyal.
Jenny thinks that she has the key to popularity, parking in cars with the boys at night. When Jerry brags about taking Jenny out, he learns that she dates all the boys, and he feels less important.
Earlier today, we spoke with Jason+evangelho from InsomniaRadio.net about social networking and ways to use it to increase a user base.
Increase your fan base and keep your fans loyal and keep people informed of what you're doing and basically just generate buzz, right?
Yeah, exactly. And here's some highlights from that conversation.
All over the place. You've been mentioned in Wired Magazine. How many, if you care to say, how many subscribers do you have these days?
About 5,000 subscribers, but we get an average of about 80,000 downloads a month. I think that as much as I hate it, I think that initially the big beast of all of them, MySpace, brought a lot of new people. I hate to give them credit, but no, recently Twitter has actually made a huge impact. I have Google Analytics on the site, and a whole 10% of total traffic comes from Twitter.
Wow.
Which I think is a really big number.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge number.
What would you rank in, I guess, so you would call Twitter your number 1 most important social network?
Yes. Well, in terms of promoting the show, yes.
Okay.
In terms of, gaining contacts and new bands, things like that, it's MySpace for the bands and LinkedIn for the contacts.
Okay.
Okay, so you sort of use bits and pieces of all the social networks that you like to sort of exploit them for the best bits of them.
Yeah, it's basically a part-time job. I'm trying to get a little bit more into Facebook.
Well, talk about that. What have you been trying to do with Facebook, and how has your Facebook invasion been working out?
It's a little bit slow going, but I think one of the best, and I don't know if I think it's a built-in Facebook application, is just ask a question.
Yeah.
There's something about that elicits a lot of feedback from the friends that I have, and I don't have an enormous amount of friends on Facebook like I do on MySpace, but it just seems to work. I'll ask a question of the week. Hey, what was the first concert you attended? Or what was the first album you bought with your own money? Things like that. And, I say, I'll read the answers on the show, and I'll get 10 to 15 answers. And I could ask the same thing even on my own website, and maybe 1 or 2 answers. About 75% of all the new friend requests on Facebook are also new Facebook users.
Yeah.
So I think it's really starting to explode. So if anybody out there is still sitting on the fence, it's probably a good time to, sign up for Facebook or just ditch MySpace entirely and sign up for Facebook.
And what's your strategy for gaining followers on Twitter? Or do you have one even?
Well, I hope it doesn't erase my credentials, but I don't really have a solid strategy. It's just a lot of just honest talking. I found this great band. They're on, Insomnia Radio 148. You guys have to check them out. Here's the link. Just, I find that if you blatantly go, hey, subscribe to my show, it's cool, it doesn't really work. Rant to rave about Twitter because it seems to really bring out these really intimate thoughts and these brainstorming, lines of conversation, and it's almost like you don't really realize you're talking to 300 or 400 people.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the appeal of it. And It's almost like an instant messenger out to, hundreds of people at once.
Exactly. It's like, it's private. It feels private even though it's being very public. It still feels intimate because you're having one-on-one conversations with people.
Right. I had to set up a page on my website just linking out to all of the other profiles I have on the internet because we kind of live in a time where it's not enough just to post your content on your own site.
Right.
You have to post it everywhere. Help, Twitter, Verb, Facebook, MySpace. If you're doing video, YouTube, Crackle, Wood TV, it's got to go everywhere. You post something on your site, post it on MySpace, post it on Verb, post it on Facebook, talk about it on Twitter. Just get people talking. If you're someone who's doing any kind of new media, present yourself on these social networks in a different light, sort of a behind-the-scenes light.
Okay.
Don't just post your show and be done with it. Talk about your experience producing the show. Talk about, a really great letter that you got from a listener, from a viewer, and just try to have a two-way conversation with your audience on all of these places.
That was jason+evangelho from InsomniaRadio.net.
From Insomnia Radio. Jason from Insomnia Radio.
Had a lot of great stuff to say about social networking.
So much to say about social networking.
Unbelievable. Like, we're going to have outtakes for forever.
I learned a ton. I thought I knew everything about social. Well, not everything, but I thought I knew enough. I thought I was one of the hip kids on the street, and apparently I'm not. So
I could have told you that.
Find out anything?
Yeah, Dad, I think I did. It looks like people who get along best with other people are, well, the people who think about the other guy. They make a point of listening to what others have to say and watching for ways to do things for them.
Squadcast, episode 4, first month in. And we're still kind of doing some tweaks to our format, still trying to kind of get things figured out.
Still playing.
And we're going to introduce a new feature called The 5.
The 5. Dun, dun, dun! The 5.
Where we basically go over the top 5 best and top 5 worst.
Best and worst.
It's really programs for any sort of...
This week, our theme is social networking, and what better to take a look at in the social networking space, since they are like the 800-pound gorilla that owns everything. We're going to look at best 5 and worst 5 Facebook apps.
Scrabulous. Really, really popular application, and actually one of the few Facebook games that we think is really, really fun. It's basically Scrabble, but turn-based, and you can choose one or several of your friends on your contact list and basically take turns playing the game. You don't all have to be at the same place. You can kind of check back throughout the day or throughout the week or whatever, and it's just kind of an ongoing game. It's a lot of fun.
Super Wall. It's a lot like Facebook's wall, but, well, super. Super Wall allows you to post videos and links and messages on your friends' walls, unlike the Facebook wall, which only allows you to write boring text.
Facebook has tons of music applications, but one of the ones that we like the best is iLike. iLike is a great way to find upcoming concerts in your area, be introduced to new bands based on bands that you listen to, comparing it with a group of people both on your friends list and throughout the Facebook network.
Music Wall. Remember on MySpace, back when you used MySpace before it got really awful? And all of those people that you really couldn't stand were posting tracks like live and stuff that when you load their page, you'd just hear music blare out of your speakers and your boss would come over and yell at you. Yeah, Music Wall is nothing like that. Well, it's kind of like that. You get to add music to your page. You get to share some of your favorite bands, but not in quite as an annoying of a way.
There are a couple great photo applications to use with Facebook. There's MyFlickr, which syncs up your Flickr account with your Facebook account. There's the iPhoto Exporter. If you're a Mac user, you can export your iPhotos directly into Facebook. And then there's Facebook's own built-in photo manager, which is a great way to organize albums and update people on your list with, your latest shots. Compare Friends. This is an application that lets you compare how many friends you have to somebody else on your contact list.
so that you can feel really special when you're more popular. I mean, why don't you just whip it out and take out a measuring tape?
Hotness. All right, so we took hotornot.com and stuck it on your Facebook page? Really? So this meme that was cool like 5-6 years ago for about 35 seconds is now been translated to Facebook applications? Really?
Jedi versus Sith. This is even lamer than Compare Friends because it's Compare Friends, but using Star Wars characters. For some reason, people have this idea that Web Geeks plus Star Wars equals lots of page views, even if it completely sucks.
You are my best friend, and you are my second best friend, and you are my 8th best friend. Really? Really? Didn't we get sick of this at MySpace? Top Friends allows you to put your 8 top friends right there on your Facebook page and gets a big no.
Anything having to do with pirates, zombies, aliens, I don't care. I don't want to be bitten, abducted, or told to walk the plank. Alright, so you know how radio DJs always have big giveaways like you could win a new,
If
CD?
you're the 10th caller to 744, I'm in the wrong job, aren't I?
You really are.
Probably.
You really are. That's actually pretty good. So anyway, I've always wanted to be able to be an announcer person and kind of give stuff away. How about you?
I think that would be pretty cool.
I've always wanted to be Vanna White.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a confession.
It is.
That's
but
a deep confession. That's
it's so awesome to be able to turn the letters and then give people prizes. I think that'd be awesome. So we're kind of doing that a little bit this week.
We are.
In the name of social networking, we are. What are we doing, Grant?
Well, we're to promote our new Facebook group.
Woo!
Because that's the whole theme of this show is promoting yourself through social networks, and we hope that we've taught you a load of things. We're going to take the first step to promoting our new Facebook group, which is the Squadcast. And if you join our Facebook group and post on our wall, say hi. You got to post something on the wall. Say hi on our wall, and three of those people that post on our wall this week will receive limited edition, handmade Squadcast t-shirts. And I'm not talking like I'm taking a Sharpie and I'm going to draw like...
No. Hardcore.
No, I have seen the plans for this and they are frightening and I didn't understand them, but they were all DIY.
We want them. We're not allowed to have
Yeah.
them, but you, our viewers, if you join our Facebook group and post on our wall, you can get one.
I'm going to be so jealous if you win.
So just go to facebook.com, search for the Squadcast.
The Squadcast.
And post on the wall.
That's the most important part. Post on our wall. If you don't post on our wall, you're not entering the contest. So sad. So sad.
And we want to give the shirts away because they're going to be awesome.
They're going to be fantastic. They're going to be killer, and neither one of us are going to get one. And you'll have one, and you're not even on the show.
But you can feel like you're on the show while watching at home.
You can sit at home and laugh at us because we
You
don't
can laugh
have
at us
one. You
because
can
we don't
watch
have
the
one
show
while you
in
wear
your
our
Squadcast
shirt.
t-shirt
Absolutely.
and be all meta and laugh at us.